very hard time. They never allowed them to penetrate our places, and our police neighbors use the fire when they use fire. So that was the painful time. But the great memory have the upper hand. I still remember when I was in the very beginning of the whole thing. Actually, I have been contacted by so many foreign media, and I did like very much to understand what's happening, and I have listened to great statements made by so many people, so many leaders, and the peaceful manner that was conducted there proved to the whole world that there is a civilized people going for a peaceful change.
Very much indeed.
Yes.
Change. And
you can see all the leaders said the new Egypt, and if you say I'm Egyptian, you can find a great deal for those people who are living abroad. They raise their heads up because of that event.
Yes. Engineer Sylvia, if we can remember those days, we remember Egyptians with no differentiation to any kind of gender, religion, anything. They were just standing hand by hand defending what they thought it was their right. Yes. They want a real future.
I want to link this historical moment that you're talking about with our present now. Many youth, they feel disappointed, and I really don't understand why. I can find some causes to be disappointed at, but why don't we see these causes as problems that we have to solve? What were the youth expecting at 2011? That we have to change and we have to have an abrupt change now? That's not possible on the ground. I mean, that cannot happen.
Engineer Sylvia, when you treat a child, it happens that the child wants this toy now. And it's just now that we want it.
I want to highlight
this
something.
This is how people are.
Yeah, but I want to highlight something for the youth, and I am a youth too.
Yes.
That, for example, our parliament. In our parliament, we have the youth under 35. We are almost 50 youth there. And
yes, and this is a matter of proudness, by the way.
And they are active, and they want to have all these causes and slogans that were on the streets. We are taking them now inside the parliament, and we are trying to build something. Why are people disappointed? Up to 40 years, we are almost 100 people. It's a huge number, 100 people from 600, almost 600 members. It's huge. That's why I want to link this positive spirit that you were talking about, people going on the streets and cleaning the streets and donating. Okay, that's very good. But the problem at that time was it was without any plan. Now we are able to have a plan, to create our plan. Why are people disappointed? Maybe there are people, their friends in prisons, maybe, okay. But this shouldn't take all the nation down with it.
Definitely. You know, if I can speak on behalf of people, it's not really that they are disappointed, but they are maybe frustrated, or they really want things to come as soon as possible, as they say it. I mean, at once, on the spot. We have waited all the time, and we need to see the results right away, and all this. That has to be very much raised to the awareness of people. Nothing can be done overnight. It needs some.
It needs a plan. We need to execute that plan.
It needs some patience at the very beginning. It needs efforts. It needs work. And I know that you're exerting much work. And we really need to understand the difference between how do you view Egypt on the time of the 25th of January and today, 5 years after.
you want my vision on that? On that, I was afraid, really, because I saw how the Muslim brotherhoods are ready, and how all other political parties, if existed, they are weak. So that was a problem for me. I saw that, and I knew I was one of the anti-Muslim brotherhoods at that time, and not trying to give them a chance as the many people said at that day, at these days. But I felt I have to deal with with what all the majority wants. If they want Mubarak to leave, okay, he has to leave, and I have no problem. He had many problems or many defects, especially on the political scene, as I told you before, on the educational scene, it's a disaster. On the health scene, it's a catastrophe. This situation that raised up the revolution, all the causes, they were all right, but we needed a plan. With the evolution of or the development of time at that time, and the Muslim Brotherhood came, and
all hopes were put down.
Yes, and then came the revolution of that 30th of June. It was really a great hope, really a great hope at that time.
Dr. Hassan.
Yes, I wanted to elaborate on what she said about how the youth felt frustrated. Yes, they are really frustrated. And one has to go deep to know the roots of that frustration. There are so many elements, in addition to what Sylvia mentioned. I think that there is a very deliberate way to tarnish the image of the 25th of Revolution, January Revolution, by some sects of the society, by I don't know how to describe them, great figures in the media, okay? Great figures in the parliament, great figures here and there who really wanted to tarnish and to put 25th of January in confrontation with the 30th of June. And thank God the president speech yesterday was an excellent in trying, because this is a long way, in trying to put an end to this polarization. Yes. This polarization is terrible. The Constitution agreed on the two revolutions, and one is
the first pillar of the Constitution, or the first statement,
continuation of the other.
That is written
but
on.
Those people, I'm telling you, great figures. I'm saying great figures, with all due respect to the persons. But when you have someone like Dr. Lamis, who is supposed to be a figure, and
no, we don't want to.
I'm saying something good. I'm saying something good about her, that I respect her, I like her, but when she insists that this is a conspiracy, 25th of January is a conspiracy.
She sees it from her own perspective. We have to respect
I'm respecting
views and ideas.
her as a person, but I'm not saying just a representative of so many people with that caliber. I wanted to mention the name to respect her, to show respect for her, and to show the type of people who are doing that. And this really frustrates many people, and she's not the only one. Many people who are, there is a trend by some people who are doing that. And I think this put down people against each other. And people who really went and died and became martyrs for this 25th of January, and they think as a part of their pride, despite of the mistakes, despite of all these kind of things. I hope that one of the treatment that should be there is that we should go for synergy. The society is deprived from synergy. Synergy is to manage diversity of opinions, diversity of positions, and try to deploy them to the best of a better performance for the entire society. But we are non-synergistic, and I think if you have a program in the parliament, that's very good. If you have a plan, you have to go for it, but you have to cultivate a new cultural software with so many concepts like that. When we are talking about the concept of how to cultivate a positive culture for negotiation, I think we have many technical terms that has implication that would really lead to a better performance in the society and would operationalize all the potentialities of the society. Egypt has a great potentialities, and we have been screaming about these potentialities since I was in the United States writing articles that Egypt has these potentialities, but who is trying to cultivate despair and the frustration? There is a systematic trend from outside is doing that, but you find a great deal of internal elements and internal people who really either fall victim to these traps easily, or their temperament has the upper hand in their opinions, especially when they try to guide the public opinion. This is why names could be mentioned.
Yes, very much indeed. But just to mention as history, want to really understand what happened, and then yes, these were hopes, dreams of great people who went into the Al Tahrir Square, and but then yes, it was hijacked.
Of course.
And yes, there were conspiracies, and we cannot deny outside factors also playing within the country. We cannot really put all the burden on those. No, not at all. We do not accuse the real sentiments and real people who went with a very courage step as such. But yes, there have been
Can I
some.
say something about this? Yes, there were conspiracies. By the way, I have put down many chapters in my book about conspiracy, which is very complicated and very difficult to understand. But one of the most important things that would gear things in the right direction is what I call the critical context. The revolution, when it was done by a great deal of inner feeling that